So welcome back. Hopefully you now have a nice piping hot cup of tea next to you and you're ready for the next game in the WGL EU Season 5 Match Week 6. And of course we're still here and we are joined by our beautiful assistant for the evening, the one, the only, not Melly. How you doing? You still with us?
Not Melly, that's me. Yeah, I'm still with you. I'm still
hanging
out.
I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that. And we do have another game coming up. And
that's right.
I'm pretty sure the voting's been pretty darn close so far, hasn't it?
Yeah, unbelievably so. I mean, I was watching it because I've got this great thing where I can kind of watch as the votes come in.
Yeah.
And it started very much with a bias towards GG Played, and as it's continued, we have now you should see it on your screens anytime soon, but it's pretty much 50-50.
That's done impressive. So it will be WUSA up against GG Played. So two very good teams. WUSA had a phenomenal run through this season so far, being at the top of the league for some time, ahead of the likes of Virtus Pro and School Bus, something that none of us really expected to see.
No, WUSA have been doing really, really well. I mean, as I said before, they were 10th in Season 4. I mean, they really had to fight their way out of relegations just to stay in Season 5, and they've been doing phenomenally well. Managing to beat School Bus, which was their best result so far. Yes, they were bested by WASD Gaming 5-2 in their last matchup, but they are still on the up and up, and I think they can do well here against GG Played. The two lineups as per usual. Nia Pazzoni, the new player for WUSA, well, not so new anymore, we're in match day 6, but still a great player and definitely one of my MVPs for them. Vitalian also joining in, team captain Siish, still heading that one up alongside FKK, who at the moment is actually doing the best in terms of statistics for his team. And on the side of the GG Played, we've still got, of course, YR, who's started to join in for this season. He's normally the team manager, but they've decided to try and use him as a substitute as well.
It's always good to get some old faces back into this as well. He was certainly a familiar figure throughout the previous Denova lineup. But as we said, they made some changes. They made a couple of adjustments. And we do have at least one more game as well to come after this one. So another cracker coming up. But you guys at home, keep getting involved. Twitter, Facebook, the lot. That's why Alex is here. We want to keep him involved. You guys seem to like him. Maybe not as much as Melly. But, you know, on a scale, he's not disliked, I think is the best way to put it.
Yeah, it's about as 50-50 as that poll is right now.
It's hanging in the balance, guys.
Just vote for.
Do we keep Alex?
Do we keep Alex or not? Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Go quite well.
Yeah, you can do that. Sure.
Okay,
Someone
the bullying's getting to him. All right, straw polls. Get them going. Do we keep Alex, yay or nay? However, back to the games, we can start discussing actually what we're going to see in this one, what we expect as well, and what sort of maps we're going to see. Do we know the first map coming up?
So we got Cliff, which is going to be attacking by GG Played, and then the next round, WUSA will be attacking on Steps. So Cliff chosen by GG Played, Steps chosen by WUSA. That's our two maps are up. Of course, if we do go to the third one like we did in the previous round, it's going to be Himmelsdorf for the decider.
And if I'm honest, I wouldn't be too surprised seeing it going all the way here. GG Played have been pretty strong on attack, though. They have had some really solid runs on the attacking side. But then again, serve WUSA, it's not something I ever expected to say at the start of this season because, as you said, WUSA had to go through the relegations. They had to do everything to get back in this league, and they came out, guns blazing. However, I do want to see how they did after that shorter Christmas break that we did endure, where a couple of teams have come out absolutely blinding and just taking names, and some have actually let the break get to them a little more than others. So it's going to be an interesting one to try and find out who's really starting to perform, who's maybe slacking a little. And let's see where this one goes. Obviously, once again, Twitter is where you can get in touch with us with your predictions if you want to give us a little background to it as well. Use that hashtag WGLEU and let us know how you think this one's going to pan out. Is it going to be a close game? Is it going to go all the way again? Or is this going to be a little bit more clear-cut and decisive? And also let us know the thoughts behind it. For you, what's your prediction?
Well, I think you go for GG Played, despite the fact that WUSA's been doing pretty well throughout the season. But this is the thing. I'm starting to wonder if WUSA's a giant killer. They beat School Bus, not when School Bus has been at their top, but they were still pre-Christmas, so they were still strong. They were still strong for sure, and they showed some absolutely fantastic games there. So it's going to be close. I'm going to have to go with GG Played still on the back of that absolutely amazing performance by Momentum. By them against Momentum when they managed to beat them 5-0 on Monday. You can, of course, check our VODs out on youtube.com/WGLU. We archive all the VODs for Season 5 and Season 4 as well, as alongside, of course, our Poznan event in Rumble in the West. That's also good to check out. And, I think for me, it depends if that was really enough of a test for GG Played, that they come into this game with a good level head and, not too much confidence.
That's what I'm hoping for as well. I want to see a good game on these between these two especially, and I think this is quite an interesting one as well. So it's like the team that kind of came out of the shadows and really started to perform, aka WUSA, and then a team who shied away from the EU League and had to come back and now prove their worth. So it's two very different stories that you guys are going to see panning out throughout this. And taking the first map into account, which I think you said is Cliff, who's got the edge here on this one, do you feel?
So I think it's going to have to be GGWL played. They've been doing pretty well on the map. They've won 5 out of the 5 rounds on Cliff.
Okay, that's damn good.
5 out of 5 is not a bad scoreline. I mean, it's not like they've played a lot of Cliff, but
it's enough to look solid.
It's still quite a lot of round. And I think more importantly, you got to look at it like this: they won 5 out of 5. So some of those rounds were on the attack, some of those rounds on the defense. So it gives you an idea that they're a good all-round team on that map. WUSA not so good. 5 out of the last 10 rounds they played on Cliff, they won. So only a 50% win ratio on that one. 3 out of 4 is the last one for Cliff. So not too bad either. But they haven't got as much experience. Haven't got the complete clean sweep victories like GGWL played has. But I think it's going to be pretty close on this one. We saw quite a lot of Cliff yesterday where teams on the defense this time were actually winning the rounds, and then the attackers were struggling to actually be able to pick up some. So the meta's constantly switching. I mean, of course, before Christmas, we saw the attackers being able to win very easily and the defenders being the struggling side.
Yeah, that's a good thing as well. I like seeing the changes in this map and how teams are learning to play it. It started off kind of a little bit of a hard one, it seems, teams to work out. Now we're seeing them starting to get that comfort zone to it and actually starting to really stretch their legs coming into this one. So I'm hoping to see something along those lines here. And you guys are using that hashtag already, so I like that. Do keep that one up. Do keep getting involved. We want to see you guys talking to us. And Alex, how are the people at home looking like on Twitch chat? Are they looking forward to the next game coming up? Has there been any talk of maybe a prediction looking towards it, or is it still focused on that last game?
It's pretty much just focused on the last game. People asking about results, asking if Momentum did pick it up. We've got a couple of people actually on Twitter offering their insight into where they see this game going. We had Connor Hallett provide us with his idea, saying, my prediction is 5-3 to GGWL played. And I mean, at the moment, nobody in Twitch seems to be too bothered. Of course, we've got a lot of votes coming in on our Facebook page with their predictions, and we've already seen that. So, I mean, it's still sat around 51, 49, 50-50. These teams are really inseparable with the community.
Yeah, and it's quite good to see that GGWL played still have been able to maintain some sort of fan base, especially in the European scene, considering they were gone for so long.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously had a little stint in the North American region, didn't go as planned, for sure. The last time we saw them were at the Season 3 finals, where they were beaten out by Krasnokar, I believe, and they managed to take 4th place there.
Yep.
And not a bad result for them, but they were definitely gunning for more, and I think they did the same at the Season 2. So we are almost ready to get underway. Of course, just the teams getting themselves sorted. The tank lineups are getting locked in.
Anything interesting so far in the way of tanks, or is it a bit too early to tell?
Well, we've got what looks like a decent tank lineup from WUSA. They've got Double Bulldog, an AMX 5100, an AMX 3090x2, a WZ132, and a T49. But I'm going to hold off on that one because an AMX 5100, a WZ132, both tanks we don't see a lot of in Cliff.
That'd be very rare to see them coming out. So yet to see that. But if you're going to pick out a star player maybe to keep your eyes on, at least in this matchup, who'd you say?
Well, FKK's been the highest damage dealer for WUSA. Yep. He's been doing absolutely insanely. I mean, he is literally at the top of the Hall of Fame, which you can, of course, check out on our portal page as well, eu.wgleague.net. We have all the matches up there. Every match you can see statistics, and you can click on Hall of Fame, then click on Gold Series in Season 5, or you can just have a look at the Hall of Fame for Season 4 and Rumble in the West and Season 5. And see who's been at the top of that one. And of course, it's Elian.
No surprise there.
No, definitely not. He's just absolutely phenomenal these days. But yeah, I think for me, I'm going to look at Nia Pozzoni. I'm going to look at FKK to step up for his team. And I think if they don't do that, we could see a bad result for WUSA. And I think the interesting thing about GGWL played is that they're all pretty good. And that is why you don't really see any particular player at the top. The best one for them is International 64, an old school player. He was playing in Red Gra back in the days when they actually won Eurosteel 2012, beat our team in the semi-finals and
Not
gutted by that.
all.
Not a bit at all. 3 years later, but yeah, it was fantastic in that lineup. I think he was actually playing artillery back in the day, or that might have been what's his name? Never mind, it's 3 years old. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's a long old time ago. That was a different game almost back in those days.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. That was 742 still. The dark days. The dark days.
Before we had results and we had 11 draws on
Prokhorovka. It was good times. The Spag Bowl conversation was born.
It was. Mitch eating a lemon.
No, that wasn't anything to do with draws. That was just Mitch.
Just Mitch being Mitch.
Mitch's affinity for fruit, which is what we like.
It's very dedicated, isn't it? Very dedicated.
He is willing to entertain.
Yeah, he is.
Good.
Alex, if we had some issues, would you eat a lemon with skin still present?
No, let's up the ante here.
Okay, what would we go for?
Do you reckon you could fit like a large orange or mango?
I don't know. Like
I could fit a large orange in my mouth. Sure.
Really?
Yeah. Not like a satsuma. I mean like a
proper orange.
Yeah.
Like one you have to eat in the bath because otherwise you get all messy.
I know that fit. Or you have like 6 layers of paper towels around you as you're like eating over.
Just squirts everywhere.
Yeah.
Be careful.
You okay there?
Yeah. Horrible cough.
He's making me ill as well, which is really bad.
Yeah, that orange just got you a little bit.
It did. But yeah, I mean, if I need to take it for the team, I'm sure I can manage it.
All right, we'll remember that.
Yeah, keep that in mind.
All right.
He's a champion of men, is our dear Alex.
I am.
He's a machine.
He is the love machine. Guys, there is a story to be told about that. I'm hoping the teams are ready soon. Alex, do you want to divulge where you got your nickname from?
I don't think we have time.
I think we do.
No, I got in my ear, the teams just said to me privately.
Oh, they called
just
you?
said, hey, Alex, please don't start a story because we really want to play our game. So.
I think it's perfect time. Okay, guys and girls, use that hashtag and just kind of theorize how Alex got the nickname Machine. Theories are plenty. Use the hashtag. Was it because of a Girls Aloud song? Was it not? You let us know. Might be. Is that right, buddy?
It could have been. There's so many much better songs out there with the name Machine in. So
Love Machine. Buddy.
Yeah, Rage Against there's loads of them out there. Who knows actually the real story.
You guys can make it up. Go on Twitter right now. Hashtag WGLEU. Machine made his name. Insert your theory there, okay? Simple as that. I want to hear them. The more creative, the better, and it keeps me vastly entertained. So do make sure you go and do it. Sorry, Alex.
Love him, really.
He's just giggling away in a really sad manner over there.
He's going to be giggling for the next 10 minutes when he sees all those submissions, I'm pretty sure.
Do keep it up. The more creative, the better. He is called Machine. Do let us know how you believe he got it. However, the teams are ready. Let's start focusing back up towards the tanks and get us away from the Love Machine. Because these machines are about to be rolling out. And what sides do you think they're going to be starting on? I think you mentioned it earlier. Yeah,
I mentioned Cliff is our first map. GGWL player will be attacking. WUSA will be on the defensive side to start off with. And we'll see how that one works out. Of course, a couple of interesting tanks I'm just going to have to go through on the side of WUSA. They got the MX-3090s, the Bulldogs, the 251s. See how they can all synergize together. And pretty much the same lineups coming out from the attacking team. Ron's actually picking that VK2801. We have seen that one before, and it's been pretty good. It's got a good damage. You can do 350 damage. Siege a little bit worried there, and he should be because he's got 3 tanks coming onto him.
Maybe praying they just go straight up towards the center, but no, they're going to hunt him down, and that's going to damn well hurt. Ron does take one. FC Dynamo moves in, though, and one more shell will take Siege down. Dynamo does just about get the shell ready.
Oh, he destroys his own cover.
Gets it. That was a bit of a mistake there coming out from Siege,
yeah,
surely.
Just destroyed his own cover. But the thing is, WUSA does manage to get some better positioning because of those 3 tanks being in there. So they are going to go into the middle, and Phoenix and YR are in big trouble. Yeah,
they've gone very low. YR is going desperately low. He's down to a whisker, 29 HP. And this point goes to maybe finish off the job he started. However, finally firing cover from Montiablo, and International will come in, but the damage is aplenty, and actually the HP is fairly even.
Oh, it is, and FKK Schnitzel just lets off another one. Doesn't manage to connect that one, unlike he did in the first one against YR, but GG player managed to get back into positions, but I think that worked out very well for WUSA indeed. They took down YR down to a 1-shot. International and FC Dynamo both 2 shots, and also Ron and that VK could also be going, and they are going on the offensive once again, despite the fact that Spike's a little far behind. They can see the weakness, and they are going to exploit it.
Gonna try and even this one up, and they do it 1-for-1 now. Ron does go down, so negating that early kill coming in against WUSA. However, FC Dynamo stuck between 4 tanks and his teammates. Another will fall. That's QQ down. That's a big hit coming towards him. And Phoenix now taking with a beating as well. This is a back and forth game.
Ooh, Griffin though, FKK Schnitzel again hitting another shell. That's why they didn't want to push him, but they are going to be able to because he is on reload, but they're not going to go for it, so he's going to be on his own. SC Dynamo still alive as WUSA continues putting on the pressure. The middle area though is in GGWL Plays' control. International getting into a good position. They are kind of wanting to reset this fight a little bit, but FKK
2K
is
damage.
such a good player in this position. He's pretty much solo GGWL Played on his own.
That's unbelievable. 2K hit already for Schnitzel. We've still got 4 minutes into this game. This guy is single-handedly keeping his team in this. Feather Fire coming through as well. Nia Pizzorni taking a little bit. This is worrying times, and look how low Stefan is.
Diablo, though, does get one for his trouble, and it's back and forwards. 4 minutes and 10 seconds left, plenty of time. It's going to be about who makes the next move, because the HB is almost even between the German team, which, well, not really German anymore. They got a few international players, and GGWL Played, the Russian-speaking team. So let's see what happens. FKK Schnitzel could crest and take down Phoenix, but International, Griffin, FC Dynamo, and Montiablo to the left all supporting him. So I think for WUSA, it's about staying put and staying calm. And for GGWL Played, it's about finding a weakness, probably flanking around the right side and going for an attack there. But they have spotted that AMX 3090 in the background, who has managed to get behind on his own. He's going to be trying to get down FKK, but he is safe behind that rock.
Oh, but there's pressure coming in. He's had to readjust, because of YR. 2 shells now as he finally lines it up. He's looking to maybe do some damage. Diablo does get a bit back, and he needs support here. Stefan did just make that shell, and it looks like FK Schnitzel will go down. He got a little bit of too much pressure from every dimension as Diablo will now move into his place. And this clockwise rotation coming from GGWL Played may just keep them in this one.
Yeah, Stefan, such a slither of HP. YR's trying to stay calm in the background. Nia Pizzorni, good place up there in the bush area. And still, it's okay for GGWL Played. Cap is underway though. That's going to put the pressure on WUSA to go forwards and have to try and make something work here. Another shell coming out, this time from Spike onto best player of GGWL Played International. And I can't see who's going to win this one, but I would give it to GGWL Play. But again,
that just ruined it.
Evened up once again, pretty much. It's now, well, it is 4 versus 4.
But the cap is going to be such an important feature now going forward, because 34 seconds left. They're going to have to make a play to stop this one soon enough. There's the obvious route, and then there's the hard route, and it looks like Vertilion's going to take one of the two. And right now, 25 seconds. Nia Pizzorni does need to land a shell pretty soon if he wants to be the one to reset this.
Not going to be able to do this one.
He can't get there that close. It's going to have to be the Bulldog.
Yeah, Nia Pizzorni doesn't have the horsepower to ton ratio to have the acceleration up the hill, so Vitalan has to be able to get up there in 5 seconds, and I don't think he will do. Griffin will almost certainly fall, but with 2 seconds left.
Oh my god, in the last seconds, GGWL Played make that final move. Vertilion just couldn't get there in time, and GGWL Played pull it out of nowhere.
And I think
they were so close the whole way through. They were down at that point.
Yeah, I think you know, if WUSA had managed to reset once, it would have been a completely different story. But that's the thing, WUSA was slow, and you know, there was that crucial decision by Nia Pizzorni to flank around. I mean, of course, he had to take down FC Dynamo, but he had to go around, and the MX 3090 is not a Bulldog. You can't get up hills very quickly. It's a fast tank in a straight line on not very resistant ground, but when you have to travel up those hills, it takes a very long time, and he couldn't get there. He did manage to take down Montiablo, but it was too little too late, and it was a split-second decision, and it wasn't the right one.
And I'm impressed by GGWL Played. No matter how much they were, in theory, out of that game, then they were down players, they were out of options, they just pulled it back together, and I guess that's the sign of a very experienced team, that they can always do that. They can always kind of turn things around to a degree that they can come back out with a win. But let's take down initially what happened, because at the very start, it looked like GGWL Played had the advantage and it slipped. Do you think that's going to be another scene we'll see here, or is it going to turn hands and they're going to switch up a little bit?
Well, you know, Siege going down was
actually,
a big blow for WUSA.
That was true. He did go down first.
Yeah, that's a real shame. I think if Siege had been perhaps traversed in the other angle and just driven out of there, it would have been a different story.
Yeah.
Or just gone in and just done as much damage as possible. But it kind of was negated by the fact that WUSA could get some good positions up on top of that kind of plateau area. But it was back and forwards, and you know, FKK kept WUSA in the game for a long time, and perhaps they, you know, were getting outplayed by GGWL Played in some areas. But it could have gone either way, and it was about that decision to get tanks towards the cap. either through the middle, through where Thailand was, or through where Nia Pizzoni eventually went, and they didn't get through the middle in time and didn't manage to decap. So yeah, GGWL Play's decision to attack on Cliff first, it seemed to be working out quite well. That's 6 for 6 on Cliff. They have yet to lose it this season, 6.5 match days in, so pretty impressive stuff. And see if they can continue that run. And one of the only teams that is not picking a T49.
Which is weird. I considering how much Neutral was able to achieve.
And Elian and everyone is
everyone
picking
else seems to be doing it. What's the downside to actually picking it up?
It's not particularly good at range, and it's not particularly versatile. Where FKK Schnitzel is where the T49 works. And to be fair, when you're playing where FKK Schnitzel is as a defensive side, it's a lot better than your counterpart as the attacking side on the other side of that little kind of hill area. So it kind of makes sense, but I also think in some of those situations where you're almost undoubtedly going to be in close quarters, a T49 is always a great tank to be able to make those big shells. But it's situational, and obviously you can see that GGWL Play has a great track record on this map, and it clearly works out with the kind of tank lineups they go for. And also pick the tank that a player is comfortable in, not necessarily the tank that's worked for other teams.
Well, let's see if GGWL Play can keep true to trend and keep this scoreline in their favour. 1-0 so far. GGWL Play are certainly in the lead, but this time look at that stack heading down to the west.
Oh, big old stack, and that's going to be bad news for Ron in International as they're not playing it carefully. International is in the 251. Ron isn't. This actually might go quite well for GGWL Play if they can get those tanks over towards the right.
How is Ron alive?
In and down, and Ron in that M41 Bulldog, showing him to be a little bit hard and a bit slippery for WUSA.
And WUSA is certainly chasing this one out. 3 tanks for International. Finally, Ron will go down, but he was the sacrificial lamb to the slaughter here, and International is getting ruined. He can't even return a shell, and he tried to finally make one, and Stefan just has none of it as Meritorious gets one towards Schnitzel. WUSA are in real trouble here, but they're just keeping up the numbers, though. Even though GGWL Played a down 2, the HP's fairly equal.
Yeah, and GGWL Played actually has a great positional, but the thing is, QQ is winning the 1 versus 1 against Montiablo, takes him down. Phoenix trying to make some damage of his own, but the thing is, FKK did receive quite a lot of unnecessary shells. 3 for 2 exchange in favor of WUSA for now, and also better HP, and they're going in for another attack.
Well, 4 tanks remaining. FC Dynamo's in trouble. He is surrounded, but Meritorious is taking the brunt of it all. Griffin in the back lines with QQ, but FC Dynamo going extraordinarily low, down to nothing, gets destroyed. Meritorious surely to fall as well. He's down to a whisker of health, and he will be decimated. And 4 tanks now standing for WUSA. They surely have this in the bag.
Yeah, this is game over right now. Phoenix is even on reload. He's just coming off, though. He might be able to do a little bit of damage, but 2 AMX 3090s versus 2 Bulldogs, well, Bulldog, a T49, and 2 251 seems like an impossible task. Maybe not for these guys. Phoenix is, of course, the shot caller for GGWL Played, one of the best guys in these situations under a lot of pressure. But WUSA, the defensive team, are playing it right. They're staying back, they're staying calm, and they're not going forwards when they don't need to do. They're not taking unnecessary damage, especially considering FKK can't make those long-range shots. Now, Phoenix, Griffin, they need to stick together. They need to try and find a weakness, or they need to stall this one out for about 4.5 minutes.
I guess it's possible in theory. Griffin has shells. Phoenix still has a lot of HP. In theory, it's possible, I guess. Resets included.
Possible, yeah. And we've seen more crazy things on Cliff.
We have. I don't know. Well.
And if it.
I'm still not sure.
The thing is, it's Phoenix and Griffin. Technically, they can reincarnate.
Wow.
This could work.
Wow, that was horrific.
I often are, in case you haven't noticed.
Oh, lordy. Alrighty. Griffin and Phoenix over towards the east side, just up towards the north. Just going to get themselves into this cap circle. Maybe trying to make sure that the cap's not going on down towards the east side. They will be going towards the west. They could catch Avertillion, but I don't think they want to really give away the game until they know the cap is firmly underway.
Yeah, exactly. They're just being as sneaky as possible, and they're using the time to the best of their ability. For Thailand, clearly their first target, going all the way around the map to find him. 2 versus 1, they're definitely going to get this. Thing is, can Stefan and Spoink be in the best position to deal with him? So Thailand falls within a few seconds, and well, yes, he received a lot of damage, but it should just be around okay. And I think WUSA's going to have to go for the final move if they want to actually be able to take this one without too much mess.
Stefan's in a good spot, though. He could get a couple of shells if he wants to. Spoink tries to make one, does not land it. Phoenix And Griffin now stuck at the foot of the hill. This is treacherous. But there we go. Stefan makes one. That's Phoenix down to a one-shot now. 51 HP left. Stefan could roll off and pretty much push him. Griffin takes one as well. They're both down to one-shots. And this went from possible to pretty much impossible now. Spoink will move in. He's got the HP to play with. He has the firepower. Stefan may fall, but more than likely won't. And WUSA pick up round number 2 and come out looking strong that time.
Yeah, evening the scores up quite nicely here to 1 apiece on the attacking side for each team, and 1 defending side for GG Well Played, for WUSA even. So, yeah, going pretty evenly. It kind of reminds me of Momentum versus Utopia we saw in the last round, kind of learning off each other's mistakes and then going for those interesting moves. And of course, that was one when the whole of WUSA pretty much apart bar 2 pushed that lower road and took down Ron, took down International Bulldog and a 2-5-1, a 2-0 exchange. Yes, FKK went a little bit too aggressive in that T49, but he got away with that one with his life, and I think in that situation would have done that too much damage anyway. And the thing is, for GG Well Played to win that, they would have had to have all their tanks there. They didn't. Montiablo was in the middle and then pushed down and taken down WUSA, and they didn't. WUSA was allowed to get back on top of that hill, and that was game over.
Yeah, now we'll be seeing the side switch. Did we see any definitive play coming out from any specific team, or was it actually fairly equal in that sort of aspect?
Well, it was just a counter move, wasn't it? They guessed perfectly on what GG Well Played would do. GG Well Played did the first thing, pretty much the same thing in the previous round, the VK around the left side. And they just thought, okay, how can we beat this out? And, Utopia did the same thing as well. They did that whole counter move to the attacking side. Being aggressive, does work as the defenders. But we'll be switching round now. GG Well Played is going on the defensive side on Cliff, and WUSA is going on the attacking side. So that's going to be a different kettle of fish entirely. And maybe it's going to highlight some weaknesses in WUSA or GG Well Played's ability to play those roles.
And the weird thing is that I only ever really see it coming down to sides, attack and defense in the last couple of seconds of a game. It seems to near on be irrelevant at the very start, and then suddenly you see, oh, okay, well, there's only a minute left. Now the attacking team feels that real pressure, so I'm curious to see what they go with. And has there been any major tank changes, or do you think they're going to stick with the same thing here?
No, it's the same. We still got FKK in the T49. VK still played by Ron, and the only different, I think T54 Lightweight was even picked up by Montiablo in the previous round. So it's pretty much the same stuff right now.
Okay, so, well, the tanks weren't really the issue at any point. It was down to tactics and play more than anything, so hopefully that does stay to the high standard we've seen so far. And Alex, how is predictions looking? Is anyone getting involved? Is Twitch chat being vocal? How's it seeming thus far?
No, actually, that's it's a good question. We've got a few people who are really just looking forward to the game ahead, and I don't think we've had anything in terms of predictions from anyone, which is more of a case of you guys not participating. Go over to Twitter right now, get on the hashtag WGLEU, and we look forward to hearing your responses and being able to vocalize them here on the stream as well.
Right, so I do believe the game's actually almost starting, so we'll leave Alex to cough for a while, because his voice, it's breaking, bless him. He's hitting that age.
It is.
Anyway, 1 second left. We will be getting ourselves into game. Currently tied up, 1 apiece. Let's see who's going to start taking that real advantage now. Switching over the sides as well, so you get to see a bit of both. And WUSA will be on the attack. GG Well Played will be on the defense. And let's see what they're up to so far. No one's speaking. Oh, no, there is one tank towards the west.
Yeah, one is going that way. The M41 Walker Bulldog. So that's going to be the opposite number, Ron, in the VK. Of course, the Bulldog will win that. And Ron gets spotted immediately. Ron does 350 damage, though, you got to remember, and the Bulldog only has 910 to play with, so potentially 3 shells, just over 2 shells, really, to take him down. Both teams now in the middle. Siege going to come from the left, and it looks like WUSA is going for more standard start here.
And And the moment, and look at Phoenix committing here. He's going straight in for this one. International, FC Dynamo, Griffin, all committing to this play. They're going straight over, facing out against WUSA. International taking a beating from the back. As Griffin goes low, they yet to take anyone down from WUSA. This is maybe going terribly wrong, but QQ and Neopazoni finally fall. But GGWP played suddenly going on the aggression again. They're not done just yet. Stefan's still in their way. They want to take him down.
Siege has got to do some work here, but he's got Ron to contend with, and he couldn't do it. He does fall to Ron for Thailand, though, and FKK Schnitzel trying to do some work, and that's the thing. Now the T49 is the worst tank to have in these situations. He doesn't even manage to one-shot Montiablo, only hits his tracks, and that's really why you should pick a sustained damage tank in that situation. For Thailand on reload in the M41, and it's like a 25-second reload, so not good times for WUSA. They got absolutely crushed, and fantastic all-round tank play by GG. Well played, just going on the offensive constantly, making sure that they can do that, and it's game over. But Thailand will fall. 6 tanks for WUSA to deal with is a little bit too much.
Even our producers knew it was over before it was.
Yeah.
A little harsh. A little harsh, guys. Be nice. God, we're the only ones who can be mean here, mostly to Alex. And that's it. Isn't that right, buddy?
Yeah, that's right.
you good?
Just keep his
yeah, I am. I'm just recovering from this cough. You occasionally hear me
you gave me the cough. That's what annoys me.
You started coughing as well. I've started something.
My voice went.
Yeah. No,
Aww.
I'm not feeling... Oh, hang on. Control it. I'm not... Yeah, I'm feeling... I keep getting tickly coughs, but... As you guys started casting, we actually did have a great response from someone saying 5-3 for WUSA, but we'll give all to see a TOG at Himmeldorf, screen at cap. Now that means nothing to me.
Many abbreviations. TOG at Himmelsdorf.
Right.
TOG at Himmelsdorf. So MR Lamch wants
so they're going to go for he's talking about the evil Panda Squad TOG move we saw
okay.
this match. Yeah, that was quality.
Gotta love it, right?
It was amazing.
It was pretty good.
Check out our YouTube VOD for that as well on youtube.com/WGLU.
Stop taking Alex's job.
And about 30 minutes ago, we also had the Kilzer.
Yeah, he's a player.
Yeah, he said, nice to see that trap finally working. So I'm guessing that was...
that was in the first round.
First round,
Momentum Utopia, where Utopia tried it sneakily.
And it kind of worked.
Yeah, there we go. So the Kills were giving approval. That's always
the Kills was just taking credit for that
tactic.
It's like,
that's ours. Good job, guys, for stealing our tactic. You almost pulled it off. Well done.
Yeah.
However, we are going to be going into the final round of this map so far. And what do we make of GG? Well played in the last one? We didn't really get to discuss that much.
Awesome stuff.
Super aggressive, very confident.
They technically shouldn't even have the advantage there, but they had everything perfectly done. The focus fire, the blocking, everything was right, and they just annihilated them. And Ron did a great job in that VK, keeping Thailand back in that M41 who couldn't get the shots on the side. It was really, really good stuff from GG. Well played. WUSA, I think if they didn't have the T49, they might have been able to do some damage there. And, FKK, if he had connected a penetrating shell, it could have been another story. But honestly, I think GG. Well played just had a blast of a round there.
Yeah, they just went straight in.
Ham, basically.
They went ham.
Is that even legal in 2050? And I'm pretty sure that was
that's probably only one you're allowed to use the entire year.
Yeah, and that was my New Year's resolution.
Not say going ham.
Not saying ham or passion or hype. Not like I say passion or hype anyway. That's Sean's job.
That is #passion.
Yeah.
Good old StarCraft anyway. Dead game aside. What?
He's got that tattooed on him, I think.
Come on, just passion or StarCraft. Which one, or a bit of both?
Let's say #passion.
#passion.
The thing is, you put StarCraft on you, you're going to end up dying pretty quickly, so it could be pretty bad.
Ow, that's mean. Anyway.
Sorry, that is pretty harsh.
Ouch, the harshness is like #harsh. Let's get into game just to annoy him and finally get the tank action underway for the final round here on our first map. 2-1 is the current scoreline in favour to GG. Well played after a decisive third battle. Let's see what they do into the fourth.
Same start from WUSA going up towards the right, although they have allocated one more M41, and that's the thing, they want to take down Rom, basically, but they get spotted early on. For Thailand, though, in the background hasn't been, so, GG. Well played, thinking, okay, only one M41, we'll do the same thing we did last time, but they won't have that. Ron will be able to push around with Thailand. Thailand will be able to push around, take down Ron, and then they'll be able to come from the side. So it's these guys up here, Spoink, QQ, and Neopazoni, job just to stay alive.
But Phoenix and Mondiablo are getting to the fight. That's going to be hard. Stefan finally gets it, but look at the HP. It's going low, but they're not down and out just yet. Finally, QQ goes down, but Nia Pizzoni left alive on nothing. The longer they take, the better this is for WUSA, but so far, GGWP seem to understand that they're pushing in, and FC Dynamo wants the ram. He gets it, and this has gone wrong. WUSA now not getting the reinforcements from the backside. The M41 Bulldogs yet to make it there. Mondiablo just chasing down Schnitzel as Meritorious deals with 2. Spoink goes down, and this has gone very badly wrong, but the numbers don't reflect the HP.
I'm pretty surprised that FKK Schnitzel didn't go for Mondiablo. He had more HP and he was an easier position to deal with, but Phoenix was on the hill, and Phoenix was reloaded in the AMX 3090, so I don't think that was a great decision by FKK, but still, two M41s alive for WUSA, well, an M41 and a T49, I should say, and Phoenix on really low HP, so he'll go down very quickly. Siege is almost going to come off reload, and honestly, this is where we'll see if FKK lives up to his name as being one of the best players in the league, and Siege kind of on his own, trying to make some shells. Meritorious is the first one up for him, and he's kind of jumping himself into a bad situation.
Maybe a little bit overzealous here to try and get in and help out Schnitzel, who was certainly okay. He'd backed away enough, but trying to maybe make a little bit of bait out of himself here. Schnitzel does not land the shell. That could be a huge hit blow here. Mondiablo does go down, and this could go wrong, but Schnitzel, can he pull off anything? This is going back forward. We're down to just 1 now. Schnitzel can go 1v2, but the time of the reload is going to be a pain here. 70 HP, 235, I think.
Meritorious is on reload.
Schnitzel can do this now.
Phoenix can't kill him with 2 shells either. And if C should hit that shell against Phoenix, that would have been absolutely sensational. Ooh, just at FKK, you need to go for it. You need to ram one of these tanks. Oh, and he misses it. He needs to go in. He needs to ram Phoenix because he's on reload and then take down Meri. The longer he waits, the worse this is for him.
And the more they run, they're on defense, GGWP. They can get out of here. They don't need to run to the time limit. They can just get the hell on out. Schnitzel waiting for that shell to become available, not getting it just yet, but now going on the hunt. These two 1390s certainly have a lot of speed with them. This is going to be a tough shot for Schnitzel to find it. He has the HP. He has the time. But can he pull it off?
I don't know why he waited for so long. It's disastrous for him right now. The T49, agile, fast, quick, maneuverable. He's making sure that they aren't going left. He knows they're going right. He knows that he can also catch up with them. He needs to stay on the high ground to cross the WUSA, the GGWP boys off. And honestly,
Jesus, that's a dodgy shot to go for. Doesn't get it either. That's becoming worrying now. The longer this takes, the further those 1390s are just going to run.
So if he can do it, still got a lot of time to play with right now, and he just needs to get this right, and he just needs to go across. But Phoenix and Meritorious, if they manage to split up, it's going to be really hard for him to catch up despite the time, because the MX 3090s are pretty quick. So it's a game of cat and mouse. This is, you know, FKK Schnitzel as Jerry and Meritorious and Phoenix as Tom Shell going through one of the bushes, not connecting that time. As FKK Schnitzel is doing everything he can do, but he's not quite hitting the mark, and I think he just needs to go in and be aggressive.
And maybe this caution is just going to come back and bite him in the end. He does need to go in there. He does need to get this one done. And as you can see, these two still solo. They're just waiting the timeout. Schnitzel has to go to them. Moving down now. Phoenix has all shells available, as does Meritorious. Schnitzel now gaining position, looking towards the cap spots. One. Shell doesn't connect from Phoenix. This could be a real mistake here. Schnitzel coming around. He doesn't really want Phoenix with a shell. He wants Meritorious right here.
He's got
the shot now. He's got one. Now Phoenix 1v1. Schnitzel's got one. He needs a second. Phoenix needs to hold on for one more minute.
No, it's a mistake.
4 more shells. He's got the high ground. Phoenix, can he do this? Moving in for the ram, but Phoenix comes out big, denies Schnitzel the clutch. And that, my friends, is how you don't clutch situations.
No, but I still maintain that if he had managed to go aggressive at the beginning, it would have been a different story. And if he should have been a little bit patient, it would have been a different story.
Yeah.
But that double Bulldog around the side just simply didn't work out. What they should have done is screw run in the VK. I mean, he's playing a 350 damage average tank, but it doesn't have any HP, wouldn't have done anything. They should have just taken all the Bulldogs and put them in the middle and deal with GG well played. The whole tactic of WUSA was to basically counter that middle push by having 2 tanks behind. Screw the middle push from behind, just deal with it from the front.
Yeah, and this should be a 3-1 scoreline now in favor to GG well played after picking that one up. A strong start as well. And I love their confidence as a team. I like it completely. It was a good idea from the Bulldogs, but as soon as GG well played, seemed to realise that.
Montiablo, FC Dynamo, and International will just push around now.
Yep.
The Bulldogs won't be able to kill him. International makes a mistake by staying, though. He will fall. But FC Dynamo and Montiablo do quite a lot of damage right now. And FK Kishinitz going for Phoenix, but he's got Montiablo right behind him. Yep. Why doesn't he just turn around and deal with Montiablo? That would have also won them the game. Instead, he chases Phoenix up there. He hits the shell on the move, does 422 damage. Just a myriad of failures from WUSA.
Sadly enough, it's a bit of a shame to see it kind of going that way. Obviously, at this sort of scoreline, it very rarely changes. 3-1s are quite decisive normally, and it normally does end up going to that favour. But, WUSA, is there any sort of light at the end of the tunnel? Next map, maybe? How have they performed? Is it a good one for them?
It's not particularly good news right now.
Oh.
I said it.
I was trying to find the silver lining there, but
no,
guess not.
It's 50% win ratio on Steps, our next map, and GG well played has won 5 out of 6 rounds on Steps, so could not be going so well. But I've been impressed with WUSA on Steps before. I want to look to see if they take artillery, if they gamble with that. They are going to be on the attack first of all, so that gives them the opportunity to be able to pick up another 2 rounds. But you got to remember, GG well played has 4 rounds now, and they only need to win 2.
And I'm sure that's weighing on their mind as well. It's going to be a huge factor in this one, just knowing mentally that they have to come back from such a hefty scoreline. But anyway, us aside, hopefully the thoughts at home aren't differing too much. The vote was 50-50, as you said earlier, Alex, and I guess they're kind of hating that one now.
Yeah, the community obviously thought it was going to be a lot closer than it currently is going. You've already said the 3-1 is kind of a bit of a kind of done deal. But all said and done, as I try not to cough in your faces, guys, I do need to promote something that I'm sure you guys have been doing already. Do get on with the hashtag. We've been having a lot of fun. We saw a great one actually from David Tomley saying FKK should have been crushed there. Will it cost GG well played? Well, the answer to that question, of course, is a resounding no at this stage. Looking pretty strong. And overall, no one else is particularly supporting the poor Momentum side. Is it Momentum? That was the first game, wasn't it? It was WUSA. Gosh, there we go. GG well played versus WUSA. So, yeah, so you do get on Twitter and also Facebook if you don't have Twitter. We're over on facebook.com/WGLEU. You'll be able to find all of our prizes and various giveaways we're doing on there as well at various intervals throughout the season. So do be sure to check out our Facebook, Twitter as well. And if you're ever looking to catch some highlights, there's a great highlight going to be on there from the from yesterday. Yesterday was it? I think it was the day before, where we had a fantastic, I think it was school bus game, and it was a very surprising result. Be sure to check that one out on the YouTube, which is, of course, youtube.com/WGLEU. All said and done, though, guys, while you're doing that, we're going to throw to a very short break while we catch our breath and get ready for the next game.
Welcome back to the WGLU. We are just, well, I would say we are over halfway at a 3-1 scoreline into our second game of the day. GGWP played up against WUSA, and we said the next map may not look so good.
No, and...
not for WUSA, at least.
Well, yeah, GGWP played still maintain their unbroken record on on Cliff, and I think that brings up about 8 rounds now. On that map. It's pretty good stuff for them. I think we might have to put a challenge out there to the other teams if they can beat GGWP playing on Cliff or not. But our next map, as you said, was going to be Steps, and it's going to be WUSA on the attack this time, and GGWP played on the defense. Typically, we've seen the attackers do a little bit better on this map because you can go up to that northern spawn, you can put pressure on everywhere, and as long as you get that execution right, there's really not very much the defenders can do apart from maybe gamble, which could work for them, but more often than not, it won't do. Lineups are starting to come in as well, as they do pick these tanks. FKK Schnitzel's got the T49, so I'll wait a minute because
you never know.
I don't really want
to
make a call, but lineup change is happened. Spoink 1337 has been switched out for D Plunkett, who played the last time WUSA was matched up against WSD Gaming. Did pretty well there, and I think he could perform. He's good on these light tank maps, on these open maps, and he could be a good instrument for them to win this one.
Well, I'm hoping something comes out for WUSA because, seeing them at a 3-1 scoreline's a bit of a shame because they are such a strong team, really, overall. So we'll have to wait and see what they can bring. But you guys at home can keep getting involved. I know the most beautiful person in the world who can tell us exactly how. Alex, Melly Richardson, how can they do it?
The most beautiful person in the world. I'll take that.
Yeah,
that's very kind. Okay.
I don't know why you're suddenly complimenting here, Lauren. You should just be...
I'm used to such a more hostile environment with Lauren.
I don't know what you mean. I'm always this nice to you.
So once again, guys, I do have to apologise. A lot of you are asking, where is Melly? She will be back. I'm just a little temporary replacement to be able to get you guys the knowledge you need, the information you need. And at this stage, the knowledge you need is that you need to keep coming up to WGL EU, and also something else to get excited about, which I will talk about once I deal with this horrible cough. I just contained a cough. That was quite impressive. It's also highlighting your MVP. It's worth getting on to our Facebook page and going to the little drop down next to more and going through to try and navigate and try and find the MVP you feel for this match day. There's one from every single team there, so do let us know who you think stands out the most, and we'll let you know who comes out the top of that one at the end of the stream.
Yeah, so a lot to be done for you guys at home if you are just kind of...
You've got the plague or something.
Why am I on camera? Producer.
Because you were mean to Matt before it.
I felt a cough coming and I was like, please get me off camera. And now I'm still on camera. I'm unwell.
Oh, this is great. Just keep him there.
I'm not feeling well.
It's just fine by me. We're still waiting on the team.
Get this boy some strepsils or something.
Someone save him.
Jesus.
Oh, R.I.P.
Why am I still being looked at? I feel sorry for myself. This is horrible.
It's not going well, guys. It's not going
Please
well.
stop.
Keep my job, I'm done.
Alright.
Alex, you're a caster, you keep going.
Just leave these two aside.
Shall I just sit down and pretend I know how to cast World of Tanks?
I do all the time, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm still not convinced myself, but I'm certainly giving it a good go. Oh.
You guys done?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm done.
No?
Well, hopefully. Next time I'll just make sure I use my cough button instead of just stifling a cough.
Really
it's quite a useful feature, to be fair.
Well, I know that, but when I'm on camera, I don't want to just disappear silently and start, like, shaking. That would just look weird. Do you know what I mean?
No, keep doing it, please.
No.
Oh, pretty please.
I'm afraid no.
We'll bring you back for another show if you do it.
Just press talk back and cough from the producer's ear.
He really likes that.
Like that. There you go. You just got an example right there.
Enjoy, Matt, the producer. Oh, I need to stop laughing, so I'm about to cry. But predictions on this map.
13-year-old girl's giggles right now.
A 13-year-old girl giggles?
Yeah, that's what you got.
Close enough.
Good enough
sentence.
Sentence structure was questionable, but
we'll
I think
roll with
people
it now.
understood it.
Compared to the content we're currently bringing, you nailed it.
It's quality stuff.
It is. It's 10 out of 10. Welcome to the WGLEU, folks. We are 10 out of 10 classy people here who are still working out. Hashtag passion. Oh, let's start looking towards the game because I'm probably going to get fired soon. Hashtag don't fire Pansy. I think it's going to be the latest one. But as we said, next map coming up, 3-1 still being the scoreline. GGWP played are on the verge of finding match point if they pick up that first ever so important round on the second map here. So let's see how this one goes down. The tanks are locked in. The teams look ready. We can hopefully get looking towards the game rather than our faces because it's gone very poorly since it came back to us. Oh, God, don't start coughing.
The thing is, Alex has been sitting next to me for the last 2 days. It's given me a cough, which is really annoying, actually. But we'll live with it.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Alex, you might need to take his place.
Just blame Alex for everything. He's ruining it. Melly would never give us a cough.
Melly would never do that.
No. Well, anyway, let's get back to the tanks.
Into the game we go. So in the south in blue, it will be WUSA on the attack. In the north in red, it will be GGWP played.
Right. Okay, so in the south, it's going to be WUSA. Starting off pretty typically, making sure they got the right side kind of covered a little bit, get some initial spots on, see if they can catch out a tank that's being a little bit cheeky going forwards, maybe even head to Nando's for something else a little bit cheeky. But for now, they've gone back up to the northern place of the M41. Bulldog Siege playing that one again. Not been too impressed with his play so far, but he's had a couple of good rounds here, and GG played are towards the left side. They are in the B1-2 area. That's where the main force is, and they're just making sure that WUSA can't get that cap. Now, it does give WUSA, typically in historical outlets, a good way in towards the right side of the map, and it can work out. We've seen it work out plenty of times before, but they have to realize that soon, otherwise it'll be too little too late. This is just... The cough button will break because you're pressing it so much. Anyway.
Sorry, it was historical outlets.
What's wrong with historical outlets?
What is a historical outlet?
A library?
Oh my God! Thank God this is a slower game than the others, because I'm in tears, ladies and gentlemen.
She's actually crying. I've never seen her cry before.
It's historical outlets that just got me going. I do apologise, guys.
Don't take the mick out of my random sentences. You know this.
Oh, I'm sorry. Normally I handle it well, but now is a bad time. Oh, God. We're all going to get fired. It'll be glorious. Alrighty.
But I'm pretty sure that they've actually crashed because no
I was about to say, like, no one's moving. Oh, why are you coming back onto camera? Just leave them there forevermore.
They are crashed. Let's get back to the garage.
Yeah, they are crashed. That makes sense.
It's not a slower game, Lawrence.
Yeah, I was about to say it's a very slow game. 4 minutes
Alex
left.
has transmitted his virus over to all of them. Now currently
Jesus.
having to have some lemon water just to cool their throats down a little bit.
I love lemon water. I haven't had that in ages, actually, since our events when Mitch nicked my actual lemon. That was meant to be my lemon. If you watched it,
I didn't know
last
that.
season finals. Yeah,
that's season 3 finals.
Because normally I love, like, if my throat gets a bit dry or messed up after casting obscene hours with 11 draws.
I think that was our 14th hour when Mitch ate a lemon.
I think it was. We
it.
were in a bad way by that point. Everything had gone. But yeah, lemon with hot water, a little bit of sugar. Get you back
it's
in
really
the game.
actually a good tip on the serious note. It really is.
We're not just mental, although there may be some problems. However, hopefully the teams are getting their problems sorted out and back in the game.
Yep.
But we didn't really see much of a starting move either then. There's not really much to say about that starting move. It was quite standard.
It's quite interesting, though, because GG played looked like they were going up towards the north a little bit more. And I guess they have two options there. They can either stay there or they can rotate back towards the right side. Now, I would go for the second, because it's easier to get there.
On the stream. Oh. Twitch is enjoying the moment.
And it's a little bit better because you can actually get there and stop the cap easily.
Yes.
So you got to have your wits about you. But you know, GG played as a great team in that situation. They're very dynamic with their play.
So it's something to keep our eyes on. Hopefully the teams are sorting themselves out. I don't know what actually happened. Maybe a player or two crashed out. Maybe an internet problem. I think that was why Plunkett actually stepped in. Was
Spoink might have had some issues.
I think so. At least he was in Twitch chat.
The internet is still the internet at the end of the day.
Yeah, you gotta love it, right? I'm surprised this one's been fun. Oh God, you know my internet restarts after every 12 hours.
Yeah.
It's
I heard about
really
that.
good fun.
Actually, when I first moved to Germany, I was told about that. As they said, you can get net Cologne, you can get like a really quick service, but it will at like 12 o'clock every day, or 0000. It will
It's great.
crash.
It's really good. It's really good.
That's why I went
so
for what did I go for? Unity Media.
Oh, Unity's the other one, yeah.
To be fair, I had Unity Media. It might be because I was living in the sticks. But I had 150 download and like 5 upload. 5 upload wasn't great, but
150 down's pretty good.
Never had an issue. Never. It was like 150 the whole time. It was great service. And yeah, I had the router was so good. I had Wi-Fi connection at the tram stop from the house, pretty much.
That's pretty impressive.
It was pretty sick stuff.
That's actually pretty impressive.
That was Tim, who I used to live with, who was a producer here.
It's his doing.
That was his doing. He's like spent like 2 days researching the most powerful possible Wi-Fi route. Might be also why I have why I have a third leg, but yeah, it was a strong router.
Third leg is a weird statement.
We are so well.
You're right there, Alex.
Fourth leg.
We've broken Alex so much.
What was that sound?
God damn it. Why am I always on camera?
Because we need help.
I'm sorry. First you go into historical
outlets,
and now you've got third legs. You're doing this to me. I'm not. This isn't me. I'm sorry. I'll keep quiet.
I was a lot worse, to be fair, in some of my sentences. You know.
I'm not sure. There's been.
Why is me coughing funny now? That's not fair. I can't control this.
It's an involuntary reflex from the diaphragm.
Thanks for the insight there. Was that from the historical
I like that.
outlets, like the library?
We are. By the way, in case you think we're messing around,
we are waiting on the teams.
We're waiting about 7 players to join in.
So it does take a little bit of time to do. So do not worry. As soon as they're ready, we'll be as well, and we'll stop talking nonsense. But nonsense. Oh God, I'll stop talking nonsense. But for now, you'll have to just deal with us talking rubbish. Did we find out what the issue was?
It was an internet issue. Apparently, one of the players couldn't control his tank. Actually, that
seems like a problem.
It is a problem. History has told us that. But the thing is, right now, well, like in every game, like this time of year is like really, really popular for gaming. Yeah. And there's like 220 to like 200,000 plus people on 2 servers. So like 100,000 each. It's a lot of people at the end of the day playing World of Tanks concurrently on just 2 servers. And it does cause like some issues with ping for some people. And, you know, it's cold months and people are on the internet a lot. And yeah, you know what it's like, guys. Yeah. But it looks like everyone's getting back into the game. Hopefully we can get it underway quickly. I'm going to have a look down, so please bear with us for a second.
Yeah. I like the way everyone is just enjoying this in chat. It's making me happy. I'm glad that some of you are having fun at my expense, mostly. I'm laughing to my computer. I'm glad. This is more interesting than the Russian and US commentators. That's just mean, but I'll take it for now. We'll just laugh some more. It seems to make people happy. I think that's the way forward. Who needs content? We'll just make asses of ourselves. It's much easier. Pansy has lost it. Pansy, go home. You are drunk. Possibly. Error. Pansy's sanity not found. Thank you very much, Twitch chat. You have always been supportive of my endeavours. When I'm fired, I will put that on my CV. The Twitch chat does appreciate me. However, we are still waiting on the teams. An update would be good from them. I'm scared to go to Alex because I always end up breaking down a little bit. He just looks at me like I've like killed his kitten every time. I'm not going to go to Alex. I'm going to leave him alone for a bit, and we can just discuss what's going on.
So right now we're just we're waiting on. Well, the issue is we have a rule, right? When you can check our rule book out, it's 100% transparent.
It's very exciting as well.
Well, it is riveting read actually. All like 50 pages of it.
Ooh.
But what happens, right? You can call a restart within the 30 seconds of it.
Yep.
Of the countdown, you know, World of Tanks 30-second countdown to get in a battle, and if FKK Schnitzel lost connection, he's called for a restart before anything was spotted. So. Yeah, that's what's basically what happened. Slowly but surely, people are entering the game. Okay. Just wait on Montiablo and the Ippazoni, and we should be able to get underway. Our admin team is working on this one, so please give us 1 second. Here's the second map at the moment. GGWP players leading 3-1 after three good rounds on the cliff, and they only have to pick up 2 on steps to be able to take the 3 points, which they would need. And 6 points in 1 week wouldn't be a bad scoreline for them either.
Pretty darn good for anyone. I think anyone at this point, considering how close the rankings are, would be pretty chuffed with that. Considering what? Let's see what the points are actually from top to bottom. So I know the bottom's pretty extreme, because it's probably like a 3-pointer, considering DTQ didn't actually get a win under the belt for some time. However, excuse me again, Alex, just making me cough. So yeah, I think it's pretty close from about 12th, which is last. Then you go up to around 8th, right?
Yeah.
And then you get what? 2 to 7. That can be easily reached pretty much by this point.
2 games.
Yeah, and then 8th till 1st. I still think that there's easily room for a hell of a lot of movement, considering how many teams are in there.
Yeah,
it's all split by
today would
a
actually
point.
give us a good idea, because TCM, they could bring them up into the top 6.
Yeah.
Because GGWL played, looks like they're on the track to win this one.
Yep.
And WUSA wouldn't go below 5th in that position. So yeah, I don't know.
If GGWL played do pick up the full 3 points, does that put them off School Bus?
Yeah, that puts them up, that puts them below Vuds Pro there in 30 with 13. But yeah, that's the punishment School Bus gets for losing against DTQ.
And everyone's just catching up. It's kind of worrying. So Utopia, not having the best of days. A bit of a closer game than wanted with momentum, obviously. Yeah, that's going to actually change the top 6 quite a fair way if it does go the way we kind of predict. If TCM pick up the win there as well. So a lot of movement could be happening. Hopefully we can check in at the end of today's standings with how it may have been updated, or at least we can theorise how it all shuffles around. Because there will be a lot of movement towards this part of the season as well, with this many teams being this close. But we do pray to sweet baby Jesus that the teams are back in the lobby soon, because there's only so much.
It's quite funny because WUSA seems to have quite a few lag issues. They're the ones who drove off of the cliff on Cliff, so...
I remember that terrible
against
driving.
School Bus.
Yeah, that was quite impressive.
Yeah,
I actually want to get...
It was 2 of their players, so...
Yeah, it was amazing that 2 of them did it, but then they could have been brothers or relatives or something.
Yeah, sure.
But we were I was discussing getting sub emoticons in this chat, and I want to get a little like warning sign with a falling tank, because I feel that would be beautiful to be spammed
on
Twitch chat.
on WGL chat.
Yeah,
I think it's a good idea. We need to get emoticons for our chat.
I think so. What do you guys think? Falling
Hashtag
tanks?
cough, emoticon for a cough, just Alex dying in a corner.
Wheezing away.
He does not look amused right now,
He
guys.
tried to do it, he was like, no. The way he only just realises he's on camera and just gives you the dirty look.
I'm not. I'm just kind of like zen at the moment. I'm just channeling all the things that would be cough into kind of silence and trying to contain it.
Oh, you want silence?
That's what I'm trying to do.
Oh.
I'm doing my very best. But I mean, I will, while I'm on camera, may as well, guys, let you know what's going on in the social media universe. You guys being... oh, actually, where have I lost it? There it is. You guys being relatively silent once again on the Twitter front, but you guys seem to be loving us not really being coherent. I think actually one person to you, Ollie, Segan said, 3rd leg. Well, I do hope you know what that means. So I think even the Twitch chat knows what's going on here.
I see what it means.
Oh, there you go.
It all becomes apparent now.
There's also a question is, are you two married?
I don't think so.
You'd make a nice couple. So
Oh, wow. Are you sure they're not talking to you two? Because
well, I mean,
you do make quite a good couple.
Apparently, we're flirty, but I think that's you two.
Oh, you two?
No,
we're married and you're flirty.
I'm pretty sure it's you two.
You reckon?
How?
Because
That's
you
impossible.
guys got history in that, not in that respect,
Whoa.
but you guys got history.
We've got history.
Whoa, we casted a couple
You
of
guys,
lands.
I mean,
These guys have been like casting together since
since
we didn't get paid.
Yeah. back
that was
then.
fun. Yeah,
since the historical outlets have been around.
We found out the historical outlet store.
Yeah, the historical outlets with loads of three-legged men looking around.
I want to Google a historical outlet. I just want to know if there's actually a thing.
No, you'll just see a really old electrical outlet.
It's French.
It's French.
Yeah, Historique de la Fille Goulette. I don't know how to speak French.
Oh, bless you, cotton socks. That was a good attempt.
It was a good.
You tried. There's nothing here that depicts a historical outlet.
Well.
A nice Ralph Lauren polo.
Oh well, you tried.
A League of Legends cup. That's about your lot. But I liked it. We can make it a thing. I think we got
I've
some
already
power.
made it a thing. It's clearly set in stone and should be part of our regular vocabulary.
All right, so let's see if that historical outlet will give us any sort of a glimpse towards the outcome of this fantastic game that hopefully has just got underway. I see the teams are moving. I'm a little hesitant to say it, but they are in game, and it looks like they are on the move. So 3-1 still being the scoreline. Just to refresh your minds, WUSA will be on the attack in the south in blue, on the defense in the north in red. It will be GGWP played trying to lock this one down and get on match point. What are we seeing so far?
Similar start from WUSA as we saw last time. At least they can get underway this time. Siege getting behind that rock, but most of their tanks over towards the right side, trying to get some spots out and see if they can find anything. But indeed, get spotted themselves. That's Deplunkett, and Ron also finds himself spotted, so he's going to have to try and scamper out of there as quickly as possible. So pretty much a similar start as we've seen before from WUSA on this map. They don't have the greatest track record on this one, but not too bad either. They have played it a lot, at least. They got a lot of experience in there. They've just failed to deliver the goods against, for instance, WSD Gaming. Now, going through the middle is their plan. FKK Schnitzel, Stefan, and Nia Pozzoni all heading that way. Deplunkett in support. And this time, at least, GGWP Play decided to go for the right side and stay put.
Well, I'm just glad to see everything working. That's what makes me happy. Right now, Schnitzel, a huge pivotal player for the WUSA side. Trying to maybe look for a way, and not going to find too much just yet. He's made a shot, not land anything, but they got some information, and that T-32 is pretty darn far ahead, but that does have some staying power.
Yeah, for sure. It's got a lot of HP, a lot of armor to play around with. Siege does receive the first shell of this game. Only down a few hundred HP, couple of hundred HP even. So you don't really have to worry too much. But GGWP played, making their presence known up in towards the northern side. They've seen that perhaps WUSA's got a few tanks on their own, and QQ there is on his own, so he's got to be careful, but he is hulled down. I think he'll be all right. Ron does receive a few shells for his trouble, and GGWP Play is going offensive, but so far isn't working out too well.
Yeah, let's see how this one pays off here. Bit of even spread of damage. QQ, though, finally starting to feel the burn as he's down to 429 HP. At the moment, Ron is gone. But he can just take so many shots.
Yeah, and he managed to destroy Ron. That definitely didn't work out for GGWP Play. They expended all their firepower, and look at the kind of presence now WUSA can get. They've got tanks pretty much from north to south. They got the M41 Bulldog in the cap and have the pressure now firmly onto GGWP Played, and they have to respond here. And honestly, if QQ had gone down, it could have been another story, but they didn't manage to do that. And now WUSA just has to hold on. They have to keep GGWP Played back, and they will be able to win this.
Let's see if they can, though. GGWP Played has this fantastic knack of working their way back in, but this is going to be a tough one to break down. It looks like WUSA will have a chance to get themselves in on this. Let's see if they can, though. QQ still in the battle, but it looks like they're going to try and ignore the T-32 and go straight in for the slightly more vulnerable Bulldog, and maybe 251 up towards the north. And in the moment, Stefan trying to get a shot or two back as Phoenix and International start hunting down towards Schnitzel and Siege, but the crossfire is pretty darn strong here, and the HP starting to look a little bit weary for GGWP Played.
Yeah, International will receive another one. Stefan, though, only hits the tracks. That's the problem when you're using heat ammo, but still the damage is on. Another miss coming out for Stefan. You would expect more from such a high-quality player, but still they're doing okay. Siege definitely in backup, and at the moment, you know, the damage is really going the way of WUSA as International and Montiablo fall in quick succession.
Yeah, certainly, and at the moment QQ still alive in this somehow. He took such a beating at the start, but he is such a phenomenal tanker in this one. I'd love to see how much damage he actually could have received from the amount of shells that were flown towards him, but with only 3 tanks alive, Phoenix left on nothing, but it was the teammates come in and swing around do the damage, but Plunkett hot on the trail of FC Dynamo here, takes him down, and this should be a clean pickup here for WUSA. The HP difference is massive, and just Merry left alive now.
Yeah, he's going to be down very quickly, though. FKK Schnitzel still on pretty much full HP, bar the ram he just did then. Will be able to take down Meritorious, and bringing the score not even, but another round going to WUSA, taking up to 3-2. And that was just basically reactionary play from them.
And it was pretty darn good as well. I love that T-32 in play. I think it pulled off a fantastic job.
See if I can actually pull up the stats for that T-32 on that one. Yeah, I can. First of all, he did the most damage of his team, 1.5k, and he could have even done more if he hit that last shell against Mary. But he could have received 2,300 damage.
That's impressive
That's how much damage was blocked by armor, which is very, 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 very good stuff. That's pretty much 2 AMX 3090s in terms of damage he absorbed. And I think that's the main reason why GGWP lost that, because the idea was great. They saw that WUSA were up in the north going for the cap, and they saw that WUSA down in the south with only 3 tanks, and they went for it. But the thing is, QQ was the only obvious target. They went for him as quickly as possible, did some good damage, but QQ reversed. He went hull down, and that T-32 just bounced so many shells. It put GGWP in an awkward position. Stefan could get up north, Shish could get in good crossfire position, and they just could get the positional advantage they need to win it. So yeah, I think it's quite obvious that in that situation it was GGWP going forwards, gambling, it not working out, and then WUSA just having the ability to see that mistake and capitalize on it.
Yeah, so I just want to see more from WUSA on that sort of level of play, because they are such a capable team. It's just we haven't seen a great deal of it. Obviously, starting out on Cliff wasn't exactly an easy way to begin with GGWP's track record of that one, but hopefully coming into this, we might see a little bit more from WUSA, keeping up and showing why they were at the top of this league for quite some time, especially during the start, picking up some great wins over School Bus and such, some really good results overall.
Yeah, for sure. So we are going to be staying on the same sides. It's going to be, once again, WUSA going on the attack and GGWP on the defense. So no switching up, not until the next round, of course. Potentially, GGWP will have to win the next 2 rounds. WUSA will have to win the next round if they want to kind of stay in the runnings, I guess you could say. 4 rounds would even it up a little bit more for them, but still, GGWP are in the driving seat as we go into the next one.
Yeah, so a couple of seconds left until the teams just get themselves fully locked in. The game is loading right now, but do let us know your thoughts on the historical outlet and such on Twitter, #WGL.
I'm not going to hear the back of that one, I don't think.
The end of it or the back of it?
The back of it or the end of it, I don't know.
English is hard.
The back of it works?
No.
End, back, same thing, kind of.
You're bringing sexy back?
It's a good reference, but no, I'm not. Clearly not.
No, I am clearly not. Alex is, yeah, that's true. But we've got apparent history now. So, yes,
see,
the love machine.
The references are intertwining.
I see what you did there.
You made a funny joke.
I like that.
Alrighty, it's game time, guys. Let's start looking at it. The teams are locked and loaded. Let's start looking at seeing what they bring into battle number 6. Currently sitting at 3-2. WUSA just about catching up to GGWP. 1 more win under their belt, and they'll be tied at all even 3-3. Let's see what they can bring now. In the south, it will be WUSA on the attack. On the defense in north, it's GGWP looking once again to lock this one down, but a very different start here.
Yeah, GGWP going for what they did in the first round when we had to restart, going for a lot of tanks through the north, Siege, and the whole of WUSA doing the same thing again. And I think GGWP might have wised up to that already, as hey, haven't spotted anything, but I'm wondering what WUSA will do. Will they go and actually just head in towards the trench side? They have been spotted, and I think they are going to go for it, leaving Siege as kind of bait for Griffin International. And they have realized, and they maybe have gambled, that GGWP are doing what they did first.
And this gamble could go a little bit sideways. WUSA is reading into this one now. They are heading around to the west. That was a weird noise. The cough button only works when you press it a little bit prior.
I did press it, but it kind of caught it me halfway through. So cap underway, pressure also underway. WUSA in the cap. This is absolutely fantastic stuff, and we might just see the biggest brawl of the season as all the tanks from both teams are heading towards each other. Ron in the middle, and that M41 Bulldog has received quite a lot of damage, but Siege has received all of his damage and has died.
So, T-32 still in play. There's a lot of HP here. Everyone's piling in on the cab. They are waiting. They are bracing for the fire to start. FC Dynamo gets 1 on the way. QQ can just stand here all day. We saw
what
he can take, but here we go. The focus has to be Sublime, and Pluck It goes down in the blink of an eye. And who's next on the chopping board? FC Dynamo in reply. It's a 2-for-1 thus far, but Nias Pizzorni going low. Griffin on the drive-by, but Mondiablo still in there with him. Finally, Ron arrives, but who's going down next? So far, WUSA are in real dire straits, losing 4 tanks, nearly 5, make it 5 with 2 left standing. This brawl has gone from bad to worse, but that T-32 still has to go down.
Still managed to take another tank with it as well. Ron, though, doing his best to try and do something against it, but the thing is, it doesn't really have much to be able to do with that APCR ammo, maybe even using Heach, and QQ still managed to live. Caps on the way, still by QQ. and he lives to fight another day. Vitailen has got some HP to play around with, and they are chasing him down. Plenty of time to actually kill him. He's up north. Phoenix receives another shell from QQ. Phoenix will have to land this one, and he does land it. Takes down QQ in that T-32, leaving only Vitailen in that M41 alive.
Well, so far, let's see what they've got coming through now. Meritorious moving in. Should be over and done with. Meritorious just waiting for, and there is Sunseal delivered. GGL played, get themselves onto match point. WUSA starting to struggle now.
And that's the thing, right? Everyone says, okay, so in World of Tanks you have a better advantage when you're defending, but here's the thing, right? When you're pushing into a situation like that and you're being aggressive, it's so much easier to call the shots and call the tanks you want to kill when you're actually on the move,
I guess, yeah.
and you're going forwards. Thing is, WUSA was standing still, so they don't have that directional firepower which GGWP Play did, and that's what happened there. But still, WUSA could have done that. If they had assigned targets better, it could have gone their way. But it's clearly a matter of who managed to do the damage quicker. Yes, okay, Siege is down the M41, but you got to remember, GGWP Played had 2 AMX 3090s and a Bulldog alive at this, and the Plunkett died, and then Stefan dies very quick after that. Nia Pizzorni falls, and you can see that no one's really focusing anything out, and it's a bit of a mess from them, to be honest.
Yeah, it certainly is, and at the moment, I did just realise as well, thanks for the update, Twitch chat, that Schnitzel's actually not going to be able to play this one out. I think his ping's actually been too bad, and for such a star player, that's going to be a real big blow for WUSA.
Yeah, he's the best player from WUSA for sure. I mean, you can check their Hall of Fame out on eus.wgleague.net and just click on Hall of Fame at the top, click on Gold Series, click on Season 5. I know it's a little bit too many.
It's a lot of clicks, but it's worth looking at.
We're working on the portal. We'll reduce those clicks for you guys. Do stay tuned for that one as well, of course. Got a lot of exciting things coming up for the league. But yeah, I think that's a big blow for them. FKK is their best player, and he's not only the best player, but he's also one of the shot callers for them. So yeah, him having to step down might have just signed seal and delivered the defeat for them.
Yeah, GGWP Played are looking pretty strong now as well. They're looking competent. They're on match point coming into this one. Do you think they can pull it off now after that last round?
Yeah, I think so. Without FKK, with their momentum going forwards, I don't see how WUSA can win the next 2-3 rounds.
Yeah, it's only going to be very, very tough. And once more into this map we go. I think I just quoted Shakespeare really badly, but we are just waiting on the last couple of GGWP
more into the
breach, dear friends. Once more, close up the wall. The English dead, was it?
No, I think it's just once more into the breach, my friend.
Yeah, once more into the breach.
Or close the wall up.
Or close the wall up with the something
I don't know
dead.
if it's British dead or English dead. There is nothing as becomes a man as something.
I don't remember my GCSE lessons from English. Did you do Macbeth or?
I can't remember.
No.
Think so.
Technically, we're all wrong because it's, of course, unto the breach.
Once more into the breach, dear friends. Once more, or close up the wall with our English dead.
Wow, you've done it. Yeah.
In war, there's nothing so becoming of a man or something like that.
I've never known you remember a single thing, but you do remember that sentence.
How far can you go? Carry on.
I can't go that far. Okay. I don't remember that much.
That's impressive.
I remember all 14.5 minutes of rapper Sugar Hill Gang Rapper's Delight. I'm not going to go for it now.
Version. Off you go.
I'm not going to go for it now.
PG-13, go.
Is there any swear words in that one?
I don't think so, actually, no.
I think it's okay.
Yeah, I think
it's like 1970s New York. It's pretty good.
A little bit. Just a little
no,
dabble.
I'm not going to do it.
A dabble.
I'm not going to do it. No.
Come on.
I'm not going to sing on stream.
I just made myself a massive nerd by remembering like Macbeth.
No, that's good. That's
King Henry
cool.
V, is it?
King Henry.
King Henry. Close enough. Did you know what the Roman numerals mean?
It literally just says King Henry.
Damn it.
I can't bother to
I'm not going anymore.
Just King Henry. King
so
Henry,
Alex,
guys.
what do you know? Is there anything you know that you can do?
Let
Magic
it go
trick?
from Frozen.
Go
really?
ahead.
Have you got a small cousin or something? Or you got a girlfriend?
I have a girlfriend who likes Pixar films.
See
that.
Is it even Pixar?
It's what we both like.
Is it Pixar or DreamWorks? Likes animated films?
There
we go.
I had a girlfriend who liked this a lot.
I should know that.
So no singing, no.
Not at this stage, no.
Okay.
He's got a bad voice. Come on.
Wow.
He's got a cough.
I'm ill.
Oh, I thought you'd been generally. That's a little mean.
I'm not being that mean to him. He's got a beautiful voice.
You can't sing.
I've seen him in karaoke before.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm a master on the vocals, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
it's
a hidden talent.
Can't wait to find it out.
It should be a career choice, I think.
Anyway,
we'll get you on some Celine Dion.
alone by Celine Dion. Sean Charles, 10 out of 10 of that one.
Yeah.
It'll happen. Anyway, tanks are ready. Let's get into game. We are on match point. GGWL played 4-2 now. WUSA starting to feel the pinch a little. And once again, we are not seeing Schnitzel in the lineup.
Yeah, but we're seeing Roofy in a M44, which could switch things up a little bit. You can see how aggressive GGWL played is. They want to close this up. They want to get this deal done and dusted as they push straight across the middle. Phoenix going into that right bush position and just splitting the map in half, basically. You still got that 2-5-1 down in the south, I believe played by Montiablo, not Montiablo, FC Dynamo, international third time lucky. And let's see what you can do and if you can cross anything off down there. But still, WUSA aren't down and out right now. They can still win this one. They just need to pick up the next 3 rounds in a row, which is a lot to ask of, but TCM Gaming has lost 4 rounds in a row, so...
It's very true. It can still all go very badly wrong, and if you have any hidden talents, ladies and gents, hashtag WGLEU. You want to find them out. But for now, we're going to have to let that one go, as it is going to come down to the crunch time. QQ, Seish, and Roofy up towards the north side. What do we make of the M44 coming into play at this point?
I think it's a good idea. I mean, they're expecting GGWL play to slow things down, and obviously WUSA wants to slow things down, so Roofy's just hitting those shells as much as he can. I mean, typically, I'm not being a massive fan of the M44 when you're defending, but Ron's also picked it up. And, you know, I know Ronnie for a long time, and I'm not sure how good of an artillery player he is. GGWL plays definitely a team built around combat tanks, fast tanks, and not so much artillery. I mean, a lot of the teams like Virtus.pro and TCM and Kazna have players which were artillery dominant players, and they've had to sacrifice that and sit in the other tanks to be able to continue in their teams. And now they're like, wait a minute, we can actually play this. I mean, you know, Artclip being able to switch back to his artillery after a year and a half or something playing for Red Rush Unity in that tank and doing it fantastically is a real breath of fresh air to see in the league in general. Base capture is underway. This is the standard tactic we've seen from plenty of teams. Montiablo is taking that duty up.
Yep, Montiablo getting himself in there nice and early. Gonna get this one started and pluck it. QQ and Co looking to maybe stop that eventually down the line, but it will be Roofy as well to do this one. 280 HP on him, so not a great deal to work with, but from the back lines, obviously on artillery, you don't need that much HP, you just need to land these shells. At the moment, no one really landing many, only GGWL play taking a touch of damage on Phoenix.
I imagine most of WUSA has coated optics, which gives you that extra 10% view range, so I think Montiablo will be able to get spotted because he is playing the 251. It's not like an F5916 when you're a small, well-camoed tank. So he's got to be careful. International on the right side and a couple of other players on GGWL play. They're looking to close the net on WUSA right now. And I wouldn't, if I was WUSA, I wouldn't be worried about cap so much. I would be worried about the actual damage GGWL play can do because they have got that artillery, because they just need to spot forwards and do that. Seish is going to have to take that one up, and he has gone forwards. A lot of damage heading towards QQ.
Yeah, Seish in trouble now. Down below half HP, has to back out of there, but Griffin from the backside, there's nowhere safe right now for Seish in here. Think he's knowing that. And another will come in from the back, and Mary is the one landing them. Griffin won't, but Phoenix will deliver. And that is the big tank advantage now for GGWL played.
We should call him Mary Poppins, because he did just explode right then. Ron, you got to remember, did 680 odd damage there.
When does Mary Poppins explode?
His name is Poppins? Pop? Explode? I don't know where I was going at with that one. Back to the tanks. WUSA now circling back around to try and get something out of this game. You've got to remember they're taking a lot of damage. I mean, you can see the kind of damage bar at the top. WUSA's down to about 45%, and GGWL played only have had a slither taken off them about 90%. So a big advantage for the attackers. Let's see if they can close this out.
Let's see if they can indeed. And the HP pool looking so dreary for WUSA. Somewhat like the weather in England most of the time.
Yep.
Waiting for the peak. Stefan Vertillion gonna look for it. Stefan gets destroyed. Jesus.
Ammo-wrecked, more likely.
Ammo-wrecked indeed. And Phoenix even getting a little bit of RT damage on the way through, I believe. I think he just took 747 off it, but Pluckett being surrounded does go down, even just near Pizzorni alive. GGWL played on the verge now, ladies and gents. 16 seconds on the cap, but that's not what's going to win it. It's going to be Niers Pizzorni going down to the round from International, and 5-2 will be the defining scoreline for GGWL played over WUSA. Nicely done there in the end.
Yeah, I think it was logical stuff from them. I mean, great damage by Ron. He did pick up the artillery, inspired positioning from him as well. You know, when you're playing artillery, you want to get as high as possible because then you can get, you know, you don't have to deal with the arc of the shell so much. You can just shoot down and the shell, you know, gets there a lot quicker. 1.6k, almost 1.7k damage for him, the highest damage dealer of the whole team, and only having to land 3 shells. He shot 5, hit 3 out of, and penetrated 3. So massive work from that guy. But, you know, I have to say that I'm a little bit sorry for WUSA. I mean, I'm not going to take it away from GGWL played. They played extraordinarily well, especially on Cliff, but without FKK and having to switch out Diplocket and Spoink the whole time, I kind of felt that
it wasn't the full WUSA.
This wasn't the full WUSA versus GGWL played.
It was a little lacking just overall, and it felt that way. It was just missing a little bit of the real what makes them WUSA in a way. That really nice execution, the nice tactics. It just didn't quite all fit into place, and sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles. However, that will be the second to last game now. The last one will be coming up very, very soon. But before we go out to the short little 5-minute break, we have to check in with our social media guru of the day.
That's me.
The one, the only, Alex.
Mini Melee, Alex. Yeah. Some people are intrigued actually who I am, and so I should introduce myself. I am Alex Machine Richardson. I do casting around for ESL.
But
I'm just filling in for Melee while she's otherwise busy. And what I need to talk about actually is you guys need to get voting for this next game. It's going to be live as soon as I finish this segment. It's going to be obviously TCM up against EPS. 2 teams for the final game, and it's going to be a cracker. So be sure to place your votes over on our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/WGLEU. Over on Twitter, of course, as well. We're going to be looking at those hashtags. We have a couple of interesting photoshops being sent in to the studio, which we are all loving. It's probably going to be.
I don't think we can show this one. This one's a little far.
Oh, it's a bit far, but I think we can. It's probably going to go in the office.
That'll be in the office as well.
A big A2 sheet of
A2.
A2.
Wow, that's a lot of resources being utilised there.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's okay.
So yeah, we definitely appreciate. I'm going to cough. I'm sorry. We definitely appreciate your contributions.
We appreciate your cough.
This is really struggling. I'm really struggling. Sorry, guys. So yeah, I should finally say, before I completely go off topic, about the WGL standoff. That's something that's exciting that's going to be happening very soon. I think it's the 10th of January, Saturday the 10th of January. It's a weekly thing where basically Gold Series teams are going to be queuing into the regular ladder, and you guys can go up against them with your teams. And I think you get credits for, I think I can get it right here, just by encountering them, you get 100 credits.
Gold.
100 gold, sorry. And then if you destroy a member of the WGL standoff team, you get 1,400 between your teams. So, I mean, it's another fun thing that's going to be going on. It's worth keeping your eye out for. You can access that at the World of Tanks webpage as well if you want to find out more. Other than that, though, guys, do not go anywhere. Just a little short break before we bring you your final game of EPS versus TCM.